Check one. Check two. Check three.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started here, and I will welcome Chuck Shields from the board with a few announcements.
Thank you, Kate. Morning, everybody. As Kate said, I'm Chuck Shields with the board. I've got a few announcements to share. The Community Bonds Task Force is seeking a few people who may be able to help spread the word to potential investors beyond our congregation, with an emphasis on messaging and community networks. Please contact Brent, Nicole, or me. You can reach us after today's service, or probably in the fellowship hall. I saw Brent here, and he was probably going to be there as well. Or you can get in touch with both of us via my email, which is president@firstunitarianottawa.ca, to find out more about this exciting opportunity. Our next fall fair, this is really jumping ahead of things here, will be on Saturday, November 15th. This is not only our biggest fundraiser, it's also the most fun and engaging event of the year. There are usually around 200 plus volunteers involved, but there's room for more. Whether you're an old hand or if you're new to the congregation, we'd love to have you volunteer. It's a great way to meet people and build connections in our wonderful community. Volunteers are needed both during the week of November 9th to help prepare and on the day of the sale. Again, Saturday, November 15th. If you're interested in volunteering, please contact Ava Berenger. I saw that she is here today, so you might run into her in the fellowship hall. She just raised her hand here in the middle. Or you can reach her at FF Vols, that is for Fall Fair Volunteers, so FF Vols at FirstUnitarianottawa.ca. The UU Pride Social Group is back. This is an opportunity to have fun and deepen connections. All 2S LGBTQIA+ folks connected to FirstU are welcome. The next meeting is on Sunday, July 13th over Zoom at 7 p.m. Email diversity@firstunitarianottawa.ca to get the link. And this summer we will be continuing the after-service conversations. They're going to be every other or every second and fourth Sunday, and so that means next week we will be having the first one of them that will be held in the summer series, and it'll take place in the lounge, but not this week. Thank you very much.
Not quite as tall. Thank you very much, Chuck. Good morning. Welcome, everyone, to the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. Whether you're here in Worship Hall or watching from wherever you may be, you are welcome. My name is Kate, and I'm delighted to be your worship associate this morning. I'm here with Anne, raise your hand, and Marina, from Ancoura. Anne is the president and interim CEO of Ancoura, and Marina is the secretary to the board of directors and a resident of Ancoura. They'll be offering a reflection on creating homes and community for mental health as part of our summer series and as part of our Social Justice Sundays. We're weaving this series around a general theme of looking back and looking forward. I don't know exactly where this one fits, but we are here now. As we begin our time together this Sunday, let's take a moment to ground ourselves in this place by acknowledging that our FirstU campus is located on traditional, unsurrendered, and unceded Algonquin Anishinaabe territory, and that the work of reconciliation is a responsibility of our congregation and of all Canadians. Our goal is to educate ourselves and all those who have the willingness to understand, to be of service to those at risk, and to advocate for justice. Now let us join our voices together in song, accompanied by Pat at the piano. The hymn is When I'm Frightened, number 1012 in the Teal hymnal. Of course, the lyrics will be on the screen. Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing together. Please be seated. If you're new to FirstU and would like more information about us, please, you can contact us through our email at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. First Unitarian Ottawa is all run together in one word. If you're here in Worship Hall with us this morning, Brent at the back of Worship Hall will be very happy to chat with you and answer your questions. We encourage you to sign up to receive the EUU, our weekly email newsletter. It'll be back next week. The sign-up information is available on our website under the EUU Weekly Newsletter tab. You can also access the content of the EUU on the website or by using the QR code on the printed order of service that you have here today. Check our Facebook and Instagram pages and our website for notices and updates. Our calendar is as full as ever, with a mix of online and in-person opportunities to be together. Some things are resting for the summer and others continue. This morning, each of us is welcome. We of any heritage or faith, whatever our burdens, of any culture or race, of any gender or orientation, in any body, all that we are. Today, we are all a part of this spiritual community. We'll be lighting the chalice this morning with words from Anastasia Birosh, the spark of love. The spark of love resides in us all. We are free to act from it or not. If we choose love, how will love shape what we do? If we choose love, how will it improve our actions? If we choose love, how will I treat those around me? If I choose love, will I find it when life gets hard? If I choose love, will you also choose love? Love begets love, and it is love that lights our chalice. Now light. As we join in the chalice song. This chalice burning bright, help remind us with your light. Oh, we like to live each day with love and truth helping lead the way. The chalice is lit. Come, let us worship together. Each week, we pause in our time together in recognition of the joys and sorrows in our lives and across the globe. We honor our celebrations and challenges by placing a stone in a bowl of water. As the ripples extend outward, imagine them continuing out beyond these small bowls, out through past our pews, out into the larger community of all, with our thoughts and good wishes. I have a stone of sorrow for those affected by natural disasters, or maybe not all natural, those forced from their homes by wildfires, those caught by terrible flooding, and in particular the people of Central Texas who suffered such loss of life and homes in this recent flash flood. A stone of concern for our fellow UUs, our friends and family in the United States. For today, a stone of support and love for all those experiencing mental illness and for their families, their friends, and all the others who support them. And a stone of joy for the strength and commitment of this community here at FirstU, reaching out the broader community, seeking justice, and supporting those in need. So please come forward now, place your stone in the water as you honor your joys and sorrows. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I forgot that. You better put the stones in for what I just said. Huh? Yeah, just do the one at the end. Is somebody coming down the aisle? The fan could be a problem. The last stone, as always, represents all that remains in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. And we will put stones in now for the ones that I mentioned earlier as we hold those in our hearts as well. There are no caring cards this morning, but a lot of caring going on. See Jan at the back of Worship Hall. Let us now move into a time of stillness and reflection. And after several moments, Pat will bring us back together through the gift of music. And now we have a special feature only available in our summer services. So I'm going to ask Marina and Anne to come forward. Those of you close to the front may have noticed a box up here, a lovely wooden box. And we're placing in those symbols of the service that we're doing this morning. So Anne is going to pull out a couple of little houses to illustrate what Ancoura does. Not only the housing, but there's a second house which provides a sense of the community that they create. So today we'll be reflecting on the importance of housing and community for all of us, but particularly for those experiencing mental illness, and what a difference stable housing and support can make. I now have a little bit of a reading before we introduce the speakers. All right. That didn't get into the order of service, but I came across it and I really liked it. This is the values prayer. It's based on the prayer attributed to St. Francis, although perhaps wrongly so. This prayer, the values prayer, is by Christopher Buse. Make us instruments of your peace. Where there is indifference, may we bring justice. Where there is selfishness, may we bring equity. Where there is stagnation, may we bring transformation. Where there's homogeneity, may we bring pluralism. Where there is isolation, may we bring interdependence. Where there is greed, may we bring generosity. Where there is hatred, may we bring love. Make us instruments of your peace, with love at the center of everything we do. And now I'm going to ask Lisa to come forward and speak a little bit about Social Justice Sundays and introduce our speakers for this morning. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Lisa Sharp, and I am the chair of the Justice and Equality Action Group. And for those of you who are newer to our congregation, a few years ago, we decided to merge a couple of groups, and one of them that merged in was the Poverty Action Group, and it's under our umbrella now. And so my involvement with that group for many years allowed me to get to know our guest today, our Ancoura. And we decided for 2025 that we wanted to highlight and celebrate our community partnerships that we have already that are social justice oriented. And so this is one of them, and you'll hear a whole bunch about their programming shortly. So I'm very, very happy to welcome Ancoura here today. You're going to hear about their their housing and programming for those living with mental health issues. And Carmichael is the current president of the board of directors, and she had, I think she was involved with Ancoura in some way or another since about 2011. And she's worked for many years in providing ongoing support to individuals and families who live with addiction and mental health issues. I know as well she ran her own consulting business to do with conflict resolution for community, and she has a bachelor's degree from the University of Ottawa in literature and music. So we'll be hearing from her. And our second guest is Marina Canalejo, and we've met her before. She's been a speaker here before, so I was so happy that she's coming back today. Marina grew up in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and immigrated to Canada in 1991. She worked as a cytotechnologist for 20 years, and in 2004 completed a BA in Sociology and International Studies at York University. She also graduated from Carleton with a postgraduate diploma in public policy and program evaluation. She's been living in an Ancoura residence since 2015 and is currently working at Export Development Canada. Marina joined the Ancoura board in 2017 and was elected to the executive in the role of secretary this past November. So we're very excited to have you both here to share with people. And remember, not everyone here knows about you, right? There's new people. And so we want to make sure that everybody hears about their wonderful programs. Just a reminder that our entire collection today will be going to Ancoura as part of our Social Justice Sunday series, unless you've got a marked envelope that says it's for something else, okay? So hopefully you can give generously today. We really appreciate your support for Ancoura. And I know not only do they appreciate financial donations, they appreciate volunteers. So if anyone's interested in getting to know how you can help with Ancoura, check out their website or talk to them today after the service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa, and you, Kate, and to all of you who've shown up today in this sweltering heat to participate. I would like to say a few words about Ancoura today, as you heard, and I would like to start with the fact that our relationship with the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa is a long one. It ranges from providing Ancoura with our world headquarters, i.e. our office downstairs, generous support, both financial and in kind, and shared values, which lead to opportunities like this to speak to you about the work that we do. My role as a volunteer with Ancoura and president of the board of directors is to oversee both board activities and program support. The work has been both challenging and fulfilling, the best part being the relationships I've formed with residents, fellow board members, and the dedicated staff who are the glue who keep it all together. My role, or rather, many of you may already know that Ancoura is a registered charity and has operated in Ottawa for more than 18 years. You may also know that our mission is to provide a nurturing and fulfilling environment for persons who live with serious and persistent mental illness. In the Ancoura model, a stable home and a supportive community are vital sources of support. Ancoura and the First Unitarian Congregation share so many fundamental values. We both embrace diversity, advance individuality through caring, warmth, and friendship, inspire courage to foster and build community, and promote healing and a just, compassionate world. At this point, let me paint a picture. Our residents come to us in search of a home, encompassing all that that word home has come to mean: safety, security, acceptance, love, support, growth, fulfillment. Each would-be resident comes with a story that may include years of undiagnosed or untreated illness, periods of hospitalization, trauma, isolation, extreme poverty, street life, shelters, and worst of all, lost hope. If family is involved, they come tremulous in the hope that their loved one will find a home that will last and that they themselves will find peace of mind. We'll come back to this picture, but let us first look at the broader picture, mental illness in Canada. We know that in Canada, mental illness has reached crisis proportions and respects no socioeconomic boundaries. And we know that most Canadians are affected in some way, whether as a person with mental illness or a family, friend, or employer. In addition to the personal and emotional costs to individuals and families, the financial impact on society of untreated mental illness is in the billions and includes hospitalization, homelessness, crime, and imprisonment. Many cities are in emergency mode dealing with illicit encampments and trying to manage shelters. Housing First initiatives are experiencing major difficulties, and participating landlords find their properties are being damaged and devalued. Looked at in these terms, it seems almost overwhelming. So what next? The Center for Addiction and Mental Health, or as some of you would know it as CAMH, has found that, quote, supportive housing improves recovery for people with serious mental illness, including those who have long histories of hospitalization and challenging behaviors. Their evidence also shows that, quote, affordable and supportive housing reduces hospitalizations, psychiatric symptoms, and substance use, while increasing freedom, privacy, dignity, and safety. Ancoura offers a resourceful option with a long track record of success. Its model is predicated on the well-documented evidence concerning the relationship between homelessness and poverty on the one hand, and mental health on the other. So what does Ancoura's supportive housing look like? I'll paint for you yet another picture. Ancoura, as a corporate entity, rents 3-bedroom townhouses in convenient locations, close to shops and public transit. As leaseholder, Ancoura enters formal residency agreements to provide a private room to each of 3 residents per home who share communal living areas. Residents contribute their incomes, usually disability pensions, to cover the rent and utilities. Typically, these homes are self-financing after initial setup costs. We currently lease 7 houses, 2 for women and 5 for men, that provide long-term supported homes for a total of 21 residents. While persons may self-refer, most of our residents are drawn from mental health care, hospitals, and agencies. In our intake process, we match candidates with others in the home to develop a compatible threesome. In this way, residents are able to live independently with both peer and professional support and live in dignity and privacy with others in a safe environment. Ancoura residents understand that they will be encouraged and supported in participating in social activities with one another, with other residents and volunteers, and within the wider Ottawa community. Our intake process ensures that residents are connected to their healthcare professionals so that their individual care continues, have a good understanding of their mental health and what it looks like, are not addicted to drugs or alcohol, and have no history of violence. Our housing is long-term, so an Ancoura resident can expect to live in one of our homes for as long as they wish, providing they live within the respectful terms of their residency agreement and are capable of independent living. Many find employment, return to school, volunteer in Ancoura or elsewhere, provide peer support at the Royal, or develop interests in creative activities such as photography, painting, or cooking. Others find the courage and confidence to take the bus, interact with others in life's many encounters, or share their stories. In terms of diversity, Ancoura addresses the poverty, isolation, and stigma associated with mental illness. Its organization and services are non-denominational, open to all races, religions, sexual orientations, and cultures. Our volunteer board of directors is also inclusive and in keeping with our policy of nothing for us without us, includes 2 residents with full voting rights. And as Lisa mentioned, Marina is part of our executive. In addition, Ancoura's model has a ripple effect. Just as ripples emanated from the stones representing your joys and sorrows this morning, Ancoura creates ripples of direct, positive impact on their residents, their families, and diverse network of volunteers drawn from all backgrounds, healthcare and social systems, and the community at large. Families and friends of residents, especially aging parents, find peace of mind in the knowledge that their loved ones have a home within a supportive environment. Volunteers are our major resource. Like the First Unitarian congregation, a cornerstone of our support is providing an environment where friendship, social relationships, and personal growth can flourish. Teams of visiting volunteers for each home form a circle of friends for our residents, providing companionship, friendship, and a gateway to social connection. Ancoura has developed a comprehensive training program which educates volunteers on mental illness and such topics as recognizing and dealing with emotions, active listening, and setting boundaries. We provide supervised peer support for volunteers, as well as opportunities for continuing education. And it's worth noting that Lisa Boulay, also a member of your congregation, was highly instrumental in developing our training program. At this juncture, I'll return to our residents, specifically one resident. Marina's story, as you heard from Lisa, is a fine testimonial of someone who came to Ancoura and found her path. She will share with you today the profound impact of these amazing volunteers, some of whom have been with us since the days of our early beginnings, and the ways in which they have affected her life.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Today, I'd like to tell you a little about Ancoura and myself. I've been a resident for 10 years already, and it's not only a place where I live, but it's my home. I share this home with 2 other roommates, also with mental illness, that are also my friends. When I came to Ancoura, I had been homeless for a while, 4 months actually. I spent on the streets in the depths of my mental illness. I just didn't want help. I didn't want to accept any help from anybody until they found me on a bench in a park, and somebody called an ambulance, and that took me to hospital where the recovery began. When I came to Ancoura, I had been homeless for a while. With a lot of help from doctors and social workers, I went into recovery. When I was ready, I applied to live in Ancoura and was accepted. At that time, I felt I still could contribute to society for a few more years. I was 50 years old, and so I went back to university and eventually got a job at Export Development Canada, with much luck and with the help of the social workers. Because I was very unsure, very insecure about how to go about to finding a job. It took me 2 years of search to finally get this job. Ancoura gave me the strength to push forward, and despite having to compete with healthy co-workers, I managed to maintain my place until now. And hopefully I will retire being there. So I'm looking forward to that too. But Ancoura has offered me a lot more. We have 3 wonderful volunteers at my house that bring their friendship into our lives. They spend time with us as friends, with understanding and without passing judgment. They get training from Ancoura to deal with difficult situations and the ups and downs of that mental illness can produce. And in 10 years, I've seen a lot of ups and downs, luckily not on my part, but on the part of my housemates. And the support that we've given each other has helped them come out of it. And today, the 3 of us are quite healthy. So definitely not on the streets. So that says a lot. Volunteering I want to talk a little bit about the volunteers. Volunteering for Ancoura is one of the most rewarding jobs you could have. They check on us every week, weekly, to see how we are doing. We arrange for outings to the theater or summer festivals. The most recent one that we went to, it was yesterday to see Shakespeare in the Park with one of our volunteers. But before that, we went to the powwow because one of our residents is Aboriginal. So, well, not only for that reason, but also to honor her heritage. We went to the powwow that took place at Wesley Clover Parks, and it was fantastic. One example of volunteering is this. One volunteer offered her country home once a year to have a few of us spend the whole day there. She served a meal and took us for a walk around her property, and even played croquet and jumped in. We even played croquet and jumped in the pool. So that was her contribution to Ancoura, only once a year, but it was very much appreciated. Others have joined the board, and their contribution enables the organization to survive. The entire board is made up of volunteers, and we are always in need of more. Some have contributed on special events as a one-time deal, for instance, preparing for the gala dinner or for a barbecue that we put together at one point. Being members of particular committees, not necessarily the board, not necessarily visiting volunteers, but of a particular committee, like welcoming committee or the fundraising committee. What I meant to say is that you can volunteer for Ancoura in a variety of ways, and fulfillment is guaranteed. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Marina. I promise I won't be much longer. So you may be left with the question, how does a small agency make a difference? Recently, I was describing Ancoura as a small charity that provides housing to 21 persons with serious mental illness, when I was pretty abruptly interrupted with, "That's not small, that's huge." It made me instantly rethink. I realized that indeed Ancoura is a small organization, but it packs a huge impact in terms of hope and the promise of a lifetime of fulfillment. That seems enormous to me, not counting all the ripples we create So from that day forward, I no longer attach the diminutive term small to Ancoura. Ancoura's hugeness is born out of its track record. Our standards of excellence have been acknowledged and supported by the Royal Ottawa Mental Health Centre and Ottawa Salus, as our work is closely aligned with their respective efforts to reduce frequency and duration of hospital stays and assist patients to adjust to community life. We have long worked with these and other external partners to strengthen and build capacity in the city, and so doing, provide a tried and true means to alleviate homelessness and poverty in Ottawa. We do so with income generated by residents' rents and goodwill of individuals, organizations, and foundations. As with many small charities, the COVID-19 pandemic led to reduced income, large-scale attrition among Ancoura staff and volunteers, including the board and long-term visiting volunteers. While the impact of these developments has been a true test of resilience, Ancoura developed creative ways to maintain support to residents while rebuilding its board, volunteers, and staff. Your congregation has been instrumental in helping Ancoura do this through these difficult times, and we extend to you our warmest gratitude. So how can you help today? The fact that you've pledged today's collection to Ancoura is already a big help, in addition to the many contributions you've made over the years. We plan to put today's proceeds towards activities that will foster life skills like cooking, fitness, or the arts, in ways that will support the health and well-being of residents, many of whom are entering their senior years and the uncharted territory of aging with serious mental illness. But you may also be looking for a way to get involved, given your long-standing commitment to turning compassion into action. To which I say, volunteer. If you don't have time to volunteer on an ongoing basis, we ask you to consider how you can contribute, whether in monthly activities, occasional chores, or financially. We would kill for a man with a truck, or 2 women with a truck, over the next few weeks while we have a few new residents moving in. And we refer you to our brochures at the back of the church that contain information about Ancoura and our plea for volunteers. If you don't have time, and all these wonderful stories of what we do, we hope that you've discovered some food for thought in what we've shared with you today, and perhaps a call to action. If you're inspired to help out, just keep in mind that nothing you do in compassion and love is small. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Pat McDonald. When I heard what the service was going to be about today, I thought about this song, Streets of London, and I first encountered it when 65 years ago, when I was a teenager at Girl Scout camp. Here's my girlhood writing that I've kept all these years, because I think it's an important song and it's a very thoughtful song. Because it talks about homelessness, it talks about the marginalized, people with health issues, mental health issues, and sadly, after 65 years, it's still with us, not only in the streets of London, but in the streets of Ottawa. So my hope today is this is going to be a congregational song, and I will teach you the chorus, and you'll sing the chorus. And I have members of Fusion spread around the room, so hopefully they will sing out loudly, and hopefully by the time I've sung one of the verses, you will catch on to the melody. It's pretty simple, and sing out. Okay? All right, here we go. The first line is, so how can you tell me you're lonely? So sing that. So how can you tell me you're lonely? And say for you that the sun don't shine.
Thank you thank you very much, Pat, and all of you for the singing. Thank you to Anna and Marina for their most interesting, inspiring reflection. Will the ushers please start passing the baskets at this time? Thanks. And as Lisa mentioned, the collection in the plate this morning will go to support the work of Ancoura, which has been so wonderfully described by Anne and by Marina in their reflection. We hope our contributions will help support this valuable work. Unless you specifically mark your envelope for your pledge, that's okay too. Our congregation has a long history of care, vitality, and bringing people together to move the arc of justice forward. We have been able to live into our hopes and dreams because of the generosity of those within and beyond this community. Whether you're here in Worship Hall or elsewhere, you're a part of this community. We rely on one another to keep this congregation vital and resilient. If you have questions about how you can give for your pledge, please go to the website or contact our finance manager. Also, the QR code on the back of the order of service will allow you to make an online donation. Our gifts are freely given and gratefully received. We dedicate these gifts to the work of the community of faith, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another. And now Pat will introduce for us the closing hymn as we sing of hope and joy, number 1060 in the Teal hymnal.
I chose something you don't know. 1060. And I chose it because of the words. I really like the words. So focus on the words. If you don't get the melody, just do whatever you do, okay, and do the words.
Thank you very much, Pat, and all you singers for rising to the challenge, not once, but twice. Before we begin to close this time of worship and reflection, there's a reminder that food and household items from our grocery support program are available in the room next to, adjacent to Fellowship Hall for anyone who needs them. And I believe there are also some leafy greens available from the Grow Towers, also in that room. If you're new here or still feel new, or simply would like a good conversation today, please pick up a green mug as you go into Fellowship Hall. Sometimes there's one here, but I don't see it, for coffee hour, which will be held just past into Fellowship Hall there. Doing so will help others to know that you want to have a good conversation, they want to have an exchange with you. And if we see someone sporting a green mug, approach them, ask them about who they are and what drew them here this morning. So before I close the service, I want to say thank you very much, because a summer service, particularly with the minister not here, requires a village. And I want to thank Allison and Jen for putting in so much extra work just before they went on holiday, to Julia for a masterful job, for Pat for the wonderful music and bringing us along, to Anne and Marina, of course, for their wonderful words, to Dee and the other people who helped care for the building, and to my team, Ron and Chris, who helped with the stones in the water, to Lisa, and everyone else who's helped me today get around or say what I need to say. So thank you. Now, as we prepare to extinguish our chalice, let these words from Craig Rowland guide us forward. Here and beyond these walls, as we extinguish this chalice flame, may the warmth of its light remain with us, guiding our steps and our hearts. Let us carry forward the strength of this community, the courage to speak truth, and the hope that transformation is possible. In each breath that we take, may we remember that the work of love, justice, and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. Go in peace with the light of this gathering to illuminate your way. Chalice is extinguished, and we now ask to you to rise in body or spirit as Pat leads us one more time in song with Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Go in peace, my friends. Go in peace.